What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Once again, my name is Chris Drummond. I am a sports reporter slash broadcaster slash podcaster based out of Minnesota. And I do this podcast uh, because I love getting to know people. I love getting to know their why. I'm a journalist. So I love talking to other journalists, other people in different medias. I do sports, other genres as well, but also other platforms. I've talked to police officers on here as well. I've talked to entertainment people as well. So either local, ESPN, all the above. So I just love getting to know people and getting to hear their stories and talk about their why. I got a special guest coming on with me today. Her name is Samantha Ann. She's been a music curator, a songwriter, singer. She's also worked for Celeb Magazine. She attended NYU as well. So she is a media journalist. So another journalist talking to another journalist understands the life of a journalist. So I'm looking forward to hearing her why. I'm looking forward to hearing some fun things about her and getting to know her a little bit. So without any further ado, I bring to you the wonderful, the talented, the beautiful Samantha Ann. Good morning, Samantha. How we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. First off, I want to say thank you for coming on to my podcast. I really do appreciate it.
No
And I want to
problem.
ask you, how was your New Year's?
It was actually pretty excellent. We didn't do anything very abnormal or anything spectacular. We stayed home. We kind of have a sickness going around the house right now, so we're all just trying to rest up and get well.
I understand. I hope you do feel better. Hope everybody in the house feels better for sure. Now, you are based out of Freer, Texas, right?
I am.
Okay, okay. Now, I've never heard of the city Freer. So what what city is
Yeah, a
Freer?
lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
Um, Freer is a very small town in between Corpus and Laredo. Um, my graduating class, because I graduated here, my graduating class, there were about 36 students.
Wow.
And yeah, I had moved from a school in San Antonio who had like 2,000 students in that class versus the 36 that I went to school with here. So it's very, very small town, very, everybody knows everybody. Everybody automatically, like if you're lost and looking for directions, nobody goes by street names. Everybody's, oh, it's past so and so's house, you can get it over here, you can just go across the way from so and you'll find it. So
Wow.
it's very I love it. I love small town life. We live on a ranch, and we have, a bunch of animals, and they're primarily my aunts and my uncles, but we like to go out there a lot.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. I like that. Let me before I start peppering you with questions, let me just
Okay.
reiterate why I wanted to have you on here again. I know you've been, like I said, a singer-songwriter, you've been a journalist, you work for Celeb Magazine as well.
Right.
And you've been a journalist. I'm a sports
Yes.
journalist. So I love
Oh,
talking to
cool.
other journalists and listening to their why of why they got into the media field, why they got into the business. And I just love
Right.
getting to know them outside of what they do and get to know them for who they are as well. So it was a no-brainer to me to reach out to you. I'm
Oh,
glad
thank
you
you.
responded, and I'm glad that you're here now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really glad you reached out too. That was pretty cool of you.
No, well, thank you. Well, without any further ado, let me get into it. I always start this first question off. Tell me your why. Why did you want to be in journalism? Were there any role models growing up? And did anybody inspire you?
I actually never really had any sort of journalistic role models or anything like that. Um, I I got into it because I realized I love how much telling a story makes my heart feel. I love being able to sit with somebody, an individual, and ask them questions and kind of take the focus off of myself, because I started off as a singer songwriter. I moved to Nashville immediately out of graduating high school. I went and recorded a few singles out in Franklin, Tennessee, and I ended up being on the radio with the 4 different songs, but one of them actually won creative lyrics contest for the CMAs
Wow.
for the Country Music Awards. And so I was able to go and experience a little bit of, you know, the whole experience of red carpet and being around other individuals who who are like-minded and who are peers. But I started getting really scared, kind of, because at the time I didn't find a preventative for my seizures because I have epilepsy.
Okay.
And so I would see all those flashing lights and it would scare me. I thought, oh no, I don't want to have a red carpet seizure or,
Right.
anything like that, a seizure in front of my peers, that would be embarrassing and I could hurt somebody. And a lot of people don't know what to do and they could end up doing something wrong and getting hurt themselves. And so I didn't want that to be a factor. So I kind of stepped out of the limelight for a while and focused on other artists, what they were doing in their careers and in their lives. And I started just interviewing people one day and realized that I really had a passion for it. I loved it. I loved getting to find out about other artists, seeing what makes them shine, what gives them their go power. Um,
I like that.
I love being able to just communicate with other like-minded individuals and finding out how they ended up on their journey. So that's really what got me into journalism. I started just this year taking a course with New York University and the Rolling Stone magazine. Um, they put on a course for journalists who want to study and be a little more versed in the world of journalism. And so I've been doing that now for a few months. And so that's kind of I'm narrowing my target into journalism, but still kind of have my hands throughout the music industry. I do manage other artists. I do media marketing and I create websites. I design websites and billboards and stuff like that. I enjoy doing a bunch in the entertainment industry. Therefore, I thought, journalism was right smack in the middle of all of it. I could probably have my hand in all sorts of projects if I just stick with journalism.
Sure. Absolutely. Nashville is one of my favorite cities. I
It's
love
nice.
Nashville. I know one of my favorite bars is Tootsie's. I don't know if you know about that,
Okay,
but
yeah, I've been there a
yeah.
few times.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely my spot, no question.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to ask you about your 4 singles that you got, because I
Okay.
want to definitely listen to it. What's the 4 singles that you wrote?
I have ILY, like I Like You or I Love You. I have Hold On, Look Up, and My All.
Okay,
They're they're miscellaneous genre category, I guess, because I really didn't stick to one genre. I kind of wanted to do all of the genres. I kind of
sure,
I enjoy all types of music. And so I have different styles that I do the songs in. They're mostly indie and folk sounding, but they have their different sounds to them. I love them.
okay. I like that. Now you also said you manage artists. Is there a couple
Yes.
of names you could throw out there that you manage?
Sure. In the past, I've managed Young Mommy. She's a rapper who raps clean, wholesome music.
Yep.
I've gotten to work with Brandon Bing. He's a country artist. He's doing music charts right now. He's on his way up there.
Okay.
I've worked with an artist by the name of Lemonade. He's also a rapper.
Yeah, I know about that.
You know about Lemonade? Yeah. He's
I do.
he's pretty awesome. He has a good authentic flow to him. And I think that's what drew me to his music in the first place. So yeah, we have those three just to name a few, and then I do a few things here and there when I can for my pal Chesney Claire. Um I kind of I write articles about her and promote those articles, and if she's coming out with a single, I'll go ahead and tell my network about her single and promote whatever I can for her. She's a good friend of mine, very sweet. Chesney Claire.
Absolutely. She's definitely going to be hopping on here shortly. We're just
Oh,
trying to get a
cool.
date down. Yeah, I talked to her manager, which is Kim, which you probably know
Yeah.
Kim as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're definitely trying to get a date down to where she can hop on this as well for sure, so to hear her story.
That's
Because some of her,
exciting.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. You see how it's a small world, how we all just know each other sometimes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
for sure.
pretty cool. Let me
Definitely.
ask you about NYU because you said that you just started some courses there. Were there any other schools that you consider going to outside of NYU?
Well, actually, this is my second time joining NYU.
Okay.
I've Before in the past, I did music industry essentials through the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, New York University, and Billboard. Um, I went ahead and did a certificate program with them and received my certificate in music industry essentials.
Okay.
Um, and so I've kind of always lingered around NYU, but I did because I'm kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to careers. I study paleontology
Mm,
and anthropology,
okay.
and I do that at UT, or I speak with a professor from UTSA in San Antonio. I was actually considering going there for a little bit just so I could study the paleontology program. And my dad actually went to it's University of Texas, San Antonio. And
Yes.
so my dad actually went there. And so I was considering going there for a bit and seeing what all I could stir up in that world. But Professor Lambert is the paleontologist, the head paleontologist there at the university.
Mm,
He and I are still trying to work on a good date on when I can go to San Antonio and show him a bunch of my discoveries.
okay.
Because I do have world firsts. And so that's very exciting and thrilling for me. I can't wait until I get to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's going to be insane.
That's pretty dope, Samantha. That really is. And for those of you that
Thank
don't know
you.
who Clive Davis is, and she talked about Clive Davis is an A&R in the music industry, big time. I mean, if you don't know him, he's
Definitely.
done people like Whitney Houston,
He's a
Babyface, if I'm not
man.
mistaken. He's the man in the industry, no doubt about it. He's like the MJ of the music industry, MJ Michael
Definitely.
Jordan of the music industry, no question about it. Um, Samantha, I'm going to ask you some favorite questions, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
And these are just some questions that some of your faves off the rip. Are you ready for me?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Lemon chicken. I love making lemon chicken and some fried rice and everything. I love that.
We're gonna be very good friends, Samantha. We getting off
Yeah.
to a start. I like that. Lemon chicken and rice. That's pretty good. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Cole Wetzel.
Wow.
He's a country artist that
Okay.
he's from a small town too, I think, and he's made a bunch of music that I really resonate with, and I got to go to a concert of his, and it was a good time.
Okay. Got you. I would say if we're talking genre of country, my favorite one, well, I would say Florida Georgia Line. I don't know if
Okay.
they're super country because they're more kind of country pop. They blend,
Right.
but Florida Georgia Line is definitely one of my favorite groups. No question.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Hmm. I would say Nashville. I loved Nashville. It was so beautiful out there.
Hmm. They don't call it Nash Vegas for no reason. That's for sure.
Right.
I don't know
Right.
if you got a chance to do it, but what I did when I went out, I've been out there a few times, but
Yeah.
when I went out there, I visited the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Yeah, took a tour of that. They also have a Hall of Fame. I forgot what it
Mhm.
is, but they have like a Hall of Fame where you can kind of walk around and see stuff as well. So I took a
Yeah.
tour of
The
that.
the Ryman Auditorium.
Yep, the Ryman Auditorium, absolutely. So yes,
Yes.
very familiar with that. If those of you that don't know where that is, anything on Broadway, you can probably get to. Oh, that's the
Pretty
street.
much.
That's pretty much in
Yeah.
Nashville, no doubt. Okay, I like that. Two more of the favorites. Okay,
Okay.
favorite sport you like to watch on TV, and favorite sport you like to attend in person.
Both answers, baseball. I love baseball.
Okay, so the Texas Rangers are the World Series champions. Are you a Rangers fan?
Right. I am a Rangers fan, but I'm mainly an Astros fan. I like the Astros. My family is they're huge into the Astros, and I love that the Texas Rangers won. I love, that they did so great, because they're a Texas team.
Right.
But I do love the Houston Astros. I'm a big diehard Astros fan.
Okay, I like that. Now, how close are you to Houston, or how close are you to Arlington? Obviously, Arlington is where the Rangers play. Houston is where the
Right.
Astros play.
I would say I'm going to say this and it's going to be the wrong answer. We're a few hours away. I can be safe and say a few hours away, like 4 or 5.
Got you. Okay, no, that's no problem. I just love that. I love hearing that. Last of the favorites. What favorite restaurant there?
Ooh, in Arlington or in that area?
No, where
Or
you're at.
oh man, so the interesting thing is we only have like 3 choices because there are only 3 restaurants in town.
Yeah.
I would say we have a cafe called Liberty Cafe, and its food is pretty on point for when you're wanting something country and southern. They're up to par.
I like that. Now, your city is very similar to mine. So I'm in
Oh,
Marshall,
really?
Minnesota. Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know your population down there, but the population here is 12,000. So it's really
Okay.
small.
So small
Um,
also.
yeah, absolutely. And I cover 12 high schools and a college. So that's what I do.
Oh, wow.
Sports reporting. We
Yeah.
only have 4 restaurants, and one of them is Perkins.
Okay.
If you know what Perkins is, that's kind of like a chain restaurant, mainly in the Northeast, not really in the Southwest a whole lot.
Okay.
But we do have a restaurant called Hitching Post, which is a
Oh, cool.
very famous restaurant out here. So yeah, I definitely love the small vibe because, like you said, everybody knows everybody. It's different from
Right.
where I live because I lived in San Diego and Atlanta, and those are two big.
Okay.
So, but I'm out here now doing sports reporting after graduating from college for a few years. So yeah, this is
Okay.
definitely cool. Okay.
Cool.
I like that. Let's
Yeah, I'm
talk
like
about
related to everybody in this town.
that's
It was
another thing
very
too.
pardon?
Yes. I said that's another thing too. Everybody's
Oh,
related to
yes.
everybody in this town,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm definitely related to the majority of the town. I say out of the 36 students I graduated with, I was related to probably 26 of them.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it's I don't know. I have a huge family, so yeah, we have a lot of people in the community and the family.
That's awesome. That really is. Let me ask you about your day-to-day basis, right? What you
Okay.
do on a day-to-day. Explain what your position is. And also, it's a two-part question. Explain what position you had that had the most impact on you and why.
Okay. My biggest impact would have probably been when I first submerged into the music industry. When I first went from high school graduate to this is something I want to pursue as a career,
Okay.
because I went off and did things. I say by myself, but I did have my cousin there with me in Nashville who acted as a manager and who did manage me and set everything up. I'd say going and being so far out of my comfort zone, which is Freer, my hometown, and forcing myself to pursue something that and finish it. Pursue something and finish it. That's what I wanted to do, and I ended up setting out and doing that. Um, a lot of people were kind of especially people from my hometown, were kind of looking up to me, and I felt a responsibility to provide the people with material that not only resonates with them, but they feel is relatable in an aspect to where they could listen to it, every so often and just have joy in their heart. That was something really important for me. And I think going out and doing that, it was probably, the most intense point of my career.
I like that. So now, what do you do as far as your position goes now on a day-to-day basis?
Right. I don't even know which title to go with. I do so many things now. Um, I would say primarily I do the journalism and the artist managing. I enjoy those things. That's what I do, and I throw out there that I study paleontology and archaeology. So it's not necessarily one thing particular that I'm sticking with. I do
Mhm.
like being able to do it all. And I'm a co-owner for a business called Diani Media. My co-partner Dennis Nichols, and I have been doing this for a few years. He's been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Okay.
I've only been with the company a few years, but within the few years that I've been working with them, I was named co-owner of the company and co-operator, co-owner, everything. And so we try to offer artists a array of um, you know, just things that they might need in their career, like promotion, like marketing, like a few articles if they need some articles posted. I come up with the articles myself, put them together, and put them out there. I have a magazine called The Real Magazine,
Yeah.
um, and I've been putting artists in that for a little bit now, and I've been writing for myself, and just trying to get that out there, get that going, because I want to say every time that I post, I get roughly 1,000 readers within the first like few hours. And so I know that I want to use that to be able to help other artists, because I know there are a lot of struggling artists out there. I know how tough the music industry is. I've been in it for a little over 15 years now. And um, it doesn't change. It's always something difficult. But
No, no
it's so
question about
worth it
that.
once you're able to proceed with it.
Sure. No, no doubt. I like that. I do. And where can some people that may not know where to go to read some of your stuff? Where can they go to read some of your stuff?
I'm on, excuse me, I'm on Medium. It's the outlet, the creative outlet where you do write articles and post them for the world to see.
Mhm.
You can go to medium.com and then just search up Samantha Ann, my name, and my material should pop up. If you see artists, like there's Halsey in there, Fallout Boy, a few well-known artists, but a few I don't like using the term no name, but lesser named artists
Right.
um than the 18. But
Sure.
I love promoting any type of musician, artist. If I can see that you've got the drive behind your spirit to do what you do, which is something that I love, that's making music, then I'll go ahead and, come up with something thoughtful or creative and put that out there for the world to read.
I like that. Now, this is a bonus question before I get to my
Okay.
next one. I wanted to ask you about do you get a chance to attend concerts and kind of write about the concert or maybe
Yes.
listen to an album and review it? Do you get a chance to do that?
Right, I do. I was actually invited recently to go to a Tesla concert,
Oh yeah.
and they have a member by the name of Kurt Demir. I got to interview him a little bit. I was sick, unfortunately, and wasn't able to actually go to the concert. But if
Yeah.
I had gone, we would have done an interview in person and recorded it and posted that after the concert. And I would have gotten snapshots of the concert.
Okay.
I was also going to go to a Judas Priest concert and kind of get to interview them a little bit behind the scenes, and then the venue, what it takes to put on a concert to that magnitude, because they have the pyrotechnics and everything.
Yes, they
uh,
do.
so so I was going to do something like that, but then another family incident popped up and I wasn't able to attend that. But I do get those opportunities of going to concerts and being able to interview artists,
Okay.
and for me that's a huge blessing. I've been able to attend a few concerts also, um you know comped by the venue because I was writing an article about them. And so
Sure.
it comes in handy a lot of the times, but I love being able to share with people about different venues, anything that has to do with the music industry. I'm all about it.
Absolutely. It's kind of the equivalent of when I got a chance to cover the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
right? I normally do high schools, which is local and college, but I was doing state stuff out in Minneapolis where they had state basketball going on at the time, and I got a chance to go and cover and sit with actual people that I've read their stories in newspapers and saw them on TV.
Right.
I'm sitting in the media thing covering my first NBA game and getting it into
That's
the
so
newspaper.
cool.
It's crazy, right? So I've never had the
Very.
opportunity to do that. And last, I would say I got a chance to do that in 23 this past year, but the previous year I had just moved here to Minnesota. So it's just crazy how things
Okay.
can happen so fast,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
was pretty fast. I've
Yeah.
actually been to a Timberwolves basketball game against the Spurs before.
Okay. I like now. San Antonio is not that far from you,
Yeah.
right?
Right. San Antonio is about 2.5 hours. It depends
Okay.
on who's driving.
You're right about that. No doubt. No doubt about that. It leads me to this great question, Samantha, which is mental health and work life balance, right?
Okay.
And I appreciate your candidness of talking about your epilepsy, right? And
Right.
obviously, it's not something that's easy to talk about, but talk about your mental health because when we
Okay.
work as journalists, is different. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of job. You know, this is
Right.
hours that are all crazy throughout the day, night. You're talking about music, and a lot of concerts are late at night, right?
Right.
So we know that obviously this is not like a regular business job. So talk about how do you maintain good mental health, but also that good work-life balance because you don't want to overhaul yourself by taking on
Right.
too much. You want to have that balance. So talk about that.
I've just recently learned how to balance my mentality. A few years back, I was diagnosed with manic bipolar depression,
Wow.
um, which means I have multiple personalities. And I honestly think that that's why I have so many different career titles, is because I have the different personalities, and each one of the personalities takes on their own career.
Okay.
Um, I truly believe that that's my story. Um, but what I do is I like to meditate and try to do my affirmations as often as possible because there are so many people who are going against you and they see you and they're just like, oh, well, what are they doing over there? And you know, you have to stay positive in this world. There are so many things that go on that are out of our control, that are beyond anything that we could help.
Sure.
And so to stay positive is to be positive in that aspect of your life. My mentality has struggled within these past, I would say, 4 years. I went through a terrifying, traumatizing event where I was in a mental institution actually.
Wow.
And in the institution, they beat me up. The There was a lady named Jasmine. She drugged me by my neck, took me to my room and beat me. And she kicked me and punched me in my face. And all I could think about was, man, I'm gonna have to write about this. I'm gonna, this wasn't a good situation. This wasn't anything. Plus, I was pregnant at the time and I ended up miscarrying.
Wow.
And it was just, it took a toll on my mentality. It let me believe, well, because I was there to get help. I was there to be helped and treat my mentality. And they ended up turning it on me and they treated me horrible. I had to, whenever I showered, I had to use my own bed covers to dry off because they wouldn't give me a towel,
Right.
and they kept it so cold in there. So my blanket was wet and cold. They never brought me a new blanket the whole time I was there. I was there for 3 days. And they were severely mistreating the patients there. And the place, it smells rotten. It smells bad when you walk in. It's not a pleasant place to go to. Um, but I knew when I was done with that experience, I was going to have to write about it. So I've written about it to an extent and posted it to Medium, but I still need to do a deep dive and, focus on how I did stay positive through those moments. I stayed positive by looking at the other people who were there in that place with me, and I would try to relate with them with what they were going through, and I would see me interviewing them in a way kind of brought joy to them because they were able to tell their stories. They were
Right.
feeling like their story was important enough to tell. And so for me, being able to help somebody else, that helps my mentality. It helps me to stay positive and to be encouraging and to try to be a light amongst a very dark world. Um, it's just something that, you know, I take mental health seriously because I know how bad it can get. I know how severe
Absolutely.
depression can get. I know how, you know, it can get really rough. And it's up to us to try to stay as positive as possible, even though so many negative things are going on to you, just to look for the light at the end of that tunnel. And that's what's really important for me, and my opinion.
Now, I appreciate that. Once again, I appreciate your candidness about that. I really do. I'm here talking to Samantha Ann, who is a music journalist, also someone who has worked at Celeb Magazine, attends NYU on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I want to piggyback off this because it's a bonus question.
Okay.
Now, how did you end up in the mental institution? If you can tell me, was this for research
Right.
or was
I
it
was
because you
taken
needed
against
to
my
go there?
will.
Okay. Okay.
I was taken against my will because I ended up breaking a hotel room window. I got locked out of my hotel,
Wow.
and it was here in town. I was arguing with my folks and with my friends, and so I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna go stay at the hotel here in town. I went to go stay there, and I went outside for a break, and because I was writing, I went out for a break, and whenever I went to go back inside, I noticed that my key, I didn't have it, and I had locked myself out. So I had gone to the front desk, and there was nobody there. The door was locked. Nobody was answering whenever I pressed the little doorbell thing. And I got scared because I know that the hotel that I was at is well known for um people doing drops, illegal drops, dropping illegal immigrants there in that area.
Right.
And whenever I looked to my left, I noticed that there were water gallons there, and it looked like somebody was there and going to come back. So,
Okay.
and that was right outside of my room. So I got very I wanted to stay the whole night outside. I mean, I had thought that way at first, and then I saw the border patrol pass, and then I saw the little nest area where they had been staying, and it scared me. And after the hotel wasn't answering for so long, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to do something to get back into that room. So I took a giant brick, and I busted it through the window, and I laid it flat over where the window had broken so I wouldn't cut my tummy on the way in, because I had to kind of shimmy in. And so when I busted the brick through the window, it cut the side of my hands. And so there was blood kind of everywhere.
Hmm.
And the next day, after I had gotten into the room and I was safe and everything happened fine, the police showed up, and they said, well, it looks like you were trying to hurt yourself, like you were trying to cut yourself. And I said, no, these are defensive wounds on the sides of my hands. They're not like, I wasn't trying to cut myself or intentionally harm myself. And they told my parents that I was trying to kill myself. And so
Wow.
my parents were like, well, she needs to go to a mental institution. And so, with my parents in agreement and the police officers, they took me to the hospital first. And they did unnecessary things at the hospital. I went in there and they did chest x-rays. I don't know why. I don't know, but I know that while them having to do that, I ended up flashing the police officer that drove me there.
That's a little
And
strange why they would
it
do
was
that. That's for sure.
why, what's the purpose of that? So the
Right.
whole thing was just traumatic. And the whole thing was very, I was so, it was beyond my control. And they had me cuffed to the bed at the hospital, and then they took me in the back of a police car. They drove me close, it's like 3.5 hours away, um to a place called Harlingen in the valley here in Texas. And they took excuse me, they took me down there, where I don't know anybody, where, I didn't know where I was going. They weren't giving me any information. It was just a whole
Wow.
lot of, I don't know what I'm going to do next, and I'm terrified,
Sure. Sure.
but I'm going to make it out. I really, really did believe in the mental institution. It's called Palms Behavioral Health. They're pretty horrible. But inside there, I thought I was going to die because she had choked Jasmine. She was 5 times my size, taller than me. She choked me out and was on top of me, straddling me, choking me out. She had me in a sleeper hold. And I started seeing I couldn't breathe. I started seeing everything go black. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. This is how I'm going to die. I'm going to die in here. And I just immediately started praying. As soon as I started praying, she got off of me. And they left the room in a hurry because it was her, and it was a male employee too. He was the
Right.
one that was kicking me, and he was holding me down against my will, and I thought I was going to get raped and killed. And it was extremely traumatic for me. I still reach out to Palms Behavioral Health Center this day, and they don't have any comment to say on it. They don't want to talk about it. They're not going to
Right.
talk to the news team that I bring. They're not going to.
Sure.
Um, they're refusing all kinds of allegations, and it's just, for me being there. I got released after the third day that I was there because I was mentally fit. Um, it was just not a great experience. It was
Right.
I really thought I was going to die.
Wow. That is a hell of a story, Samantha. It is. And for
Thank
those of
you.
you that want to read about this, once again, go to Medium. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it is.
Right,
She
medium.
you did write a little bit about it. I can't wait till you probably expand on that because I would love to hear the full story, even with what you just told me right now. I would love to
Yeah,
hear
it's
that.
pretty intense.
No question. Sounds that way. But now we've came to the portion of the podcast where we can do this or that. Okay. So this or
Okay,
that is basically throwing two things at you, and then you choose one or the other. Samantha, are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay, let's rock. Popeyes or KFC?
This I do. I Popeyes for sure.
Popeyes? Okay, okay, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. We'll go off to a good start because I do Popeyes too.
Good.
Do you eat chicken wings?
Yes.
Okay. Lemon pepper or barbecue?
Mm. I don't like either, but I'll go with lemon pepper.
Okay. Now, are you a buffalo person? You like
I
buffalo?
am very
Okay.
much.
So you like the spice a little bit. All right,
I
I like
carry
that.
around Frank's hot sauce in my purse.
There you go. That's my kind of girl. I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Do you do bone in or boneless wings?
Bone in.
Okay, so you like to get messy, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I like that. No doubt. No doubt. All right. These next three questions are about music.
Okay.
Which artist would you rather go see in concert? Would you rather go see Carrie Underwood or Casey Musgraves?
Oh, that's so tough. Casey Musgraves.
Okay, I like that. I like that. All right, next one. Which artist would you rather go see in person? Would you rather see Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs?
Luke Combs.
Okay, I like that. You were pretty decisive right there. I like that.
Yeah.
Last one on the music. Which artist would you rather go see in concert? Beyonce or Taylor Swift?
Oh, that's tough too. I would say Beyonce.
Okay, I like that. I like it. Okay, even though they was tough, you were still decisive on that. I really enjoy that. Which
Yeah.
which Houston Astro player would you pick? Would you pick
Hmm.
Jose Altuve or would you pick Kyle Tucker?
Altuve.
Okay, I like that. I like that. That's pretty good. Which San Antonio Spurs player, basketball
Oh
player, would you pick?
man.
Would you pick? And this is kind of old school. Would you pick Tim Duncan or David Robinson?
Oh my gosh, the Admiral, number 50, David Robinson.
I love it. I love it. Okay, I like that. Which sport would you rather play? Bowling or badminton?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
I'm decent.
Okay. Do you need the bumpers? That's all I gotta ask.
No, no, I
Okay,
don't need
good.
the bumpers.
Okay. Then we can do something. That's good. Some guests on here have said they need the bumpers. I said no
Oh,
way.
wow.
Do it. Can't do it. I cannot
Mm-mm.
be with you if you're doing bumpers. I can't do it. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Got a couple more for this or that.
Okay.
Which city would you rather go visit? Would you rather visit New York City or would you rather visit Chicago?
I would say New York.
Okay, New York City. I like that. All right. This has to do with another music, okay?
Okay.
Which one would you rather do? Would you rather sing or would you rather songwrite?
Oh man, that one's tougher. I would say songwrite.
Okay. Okay, I like it. I like it. That's what's up. Last one for the this or that. Okay, last one. And this one has to do with music again. All right.
Okay.
Which concert would you rather attend? Okay. Would you rather attend the Zach Brown band or Lady A?
Lady A.
Wow. I'm shocked on
Yeah.
that.
I enjoy Zach Brown band, but I do like Lady A a lot. I have a similar pitch that I sing and it sounds a lot like Hillary when I sing sometimes. So I would
Yeah.
like to go and experience that live.
Okay. I like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. You did well on this or that, by the way. You did really good.
Thank you. Maybe
Very,
not
very
at
happy.
first when I answered with this, right?
Right. Right. I was like,
I was a little too literal.
it's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Do they have Chick-fil-A out there? Chick-fil-A?
They just built one 45 minutes away.
Okay, got you, got you. I didn't know they had Chick-fil-A out there. I'm a huge Chick-fil-A person coming from
Oh,
Atlanta,
right.
transplanting from that. They have them on like every street. It's so good.
No.
If you wasn't doing journalism or in journalism or media in that, what would Samantha be? What career
Hmm.
would Samantha pursue?
Children's author.
Really?
Yes. I enjoy, or if not a children's author, I would like to be someone who helps produce shows like Coco Melon with Moonbug Entertainment. I like creating movie scripts and stuff like that. I've written a few children's songs in different languages to put on a show like Coco Melon. So I think something in helping children, whether it's an author or somebody who does programming.
Okay, okay, that's pretty cool. Let me ask you about advice. What
Okay.
advice has someone gave you that you hold on dearly to, but also what is some advice you would give anyone that wants to break into the music entertainment business as a journalist or whatever occupation?
I would say if somebody says no or turns down your music for whatever reason, don't lose faith. Don't give up right then and there. Just keep pushing through it. And, you'll end up shining at the end of it. It'll be worth it if you stick with it.
Okay. Now, what advice has someone gave you?
Probably that same advice, just to not let the naysayers keep you down. Don't let people put you in a box. Just be yourself, be your true, authentic self, and shine. The world's going to love you.
I like that. The world is going to love you. There's no question about that. I like that line for sure. What are two people? Okay. Because now we're at the portion of that. What are two people that you think would be very good to hop on this podcast and talk to me that you know off of LinkedIn?
It would probably be Chesney and my partner, Dennis.
Oh, okay. I like that. Well, obviously, Chesney is definitely somebody who we're definitely going to get on for sure. I would
Yeah.
love Dennis as well. Dennis is amazing too, for sure. You have gave great answers, right?
Thank
Obviously, at
you.
NYU, doing your thing. You've been singer-songwriter. You've managed some people. You talked about epilepsy. You talked about your experience in a mental institution, which I do appreciate your candidness and your open
Thank
heart
you.
about that. You've answered the this or that questions well. We know that some of your favorite stuff that you like to do is lemon chicken and rice, which if I'm ever in Freer, I got to have some of that. That's for sure.
Definitely.
No question. But I really do appreciate you coming on here, really speaking your truth, speaking about your story. And I look forward to reading more information about you Those of you that didn't catch it, please go on Medium and read some of Samantha Ann's stuff. And also, if you had a question that I didn't ask and you want to reach out to her, she's on LinkedIn. Are you on any other social media platforms?
I am. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, on Instagram, and I believe that's it.
Okay, now they can find you at Samantha Ann, correct?
Yes, that is correct. And it's ANN.
Okay.
A lot of people try to put an E at the end, but there's no E.
I know that's right. I like that. As I always do with every guest I have on here, the last thing I ask is there anything else you would like to add before we conclude? Oh,